You know, we might have a nuclear war soon. But hey, a new Zelda's coming out. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Disney will continue its trend of creating great Star Wars games while making the worst garbage movies ever with Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It will be fine. It's a Star Wars game with Souls-like gameplay. How hard could it be? You take a young adult protagonist who has to wrestle with staying on the light side. You make him grapple with falling to the dark side, but ultimately he chooses to be good, and make him fight one of the dozens of lesser-known Sith Lords only your 40-year-old brother who lives in the basement knows about.
You see, that's actually Darth Bane, and he was before Darth Plagueis, and if you read the Star Wars
go back to
comic
the
books, you're gonna
basement.
realize
Mom
that
doesn't
there's
want to
actually
see
a
you
lot that goes
upstairs.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Spider-Man 2. We've got not one, but 2 games where you actually feel like Spider-Man.
At its core, Insomniac Games' adventure strives to make you feel like Spider-Man.
As you weave your way through New York City to hundreds of map markers for boring-ass side quests that pad the length of the game.
It's my husband, Rodrigo. He's been acting weird, and I just found out he's meeting this woman.
Why is everyone outside?
A pipe burst.
Be good now.
What do we say? Hooray for Spider-Man!
Spider-Man 2, which is actually the 3rd game, will finally be the game where players say, wait a minute, this is kind of boring. Lord of the Rings. Gollum? This is like a failed PS3 game, right? Like they were making this 10 years ago and they scrapped it? Who wants to play as Gollum? Wait, where are Gandalf's eyes?
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
Octopath Traveler 2. If you like fantastic graphics, disjointed stories, and horrible titles, then Octopath Traveler is the game for you. And if you played that game and want more, then Octopath Traveler 2 is the game for you. It will have all the markings of great RPGs like a disjointed party that has no reason to stay together, excessive random battles, and stories about rape.
You're nothing but a stupid whore! You would have died on the street if not for me!
Come on, kids, let's play Grandpa's favorite RPG from when he's a kid. Okay, honestly, it will be better than the first and decently received, but it won't surpass any of the classic Final Fantasy games. Resident Evil 4 Remake. So you've bought Resident Evil 4 once, twice, thrice, Christ, thrice, and sixtieths, but you want more? Enter Resident Evil 4 Remake. After remaking Resident Evil 2 and failing to remake Resident Evil 3, Capcom is back with a remake of a game that was already perfect. Get ready to watch as Capcom prints money yet again, and I buy this game for the 7th time.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Wulong Fallen Dynasty. So you want to make a Souls game and you want to get that sweet Chinese money? If you like dying to the same boss 80 times and you've already beaten Elden Ring a dozen times, you're going to love Wulong. It's basically like Sekiro, but not really. It'll do alright. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This will be the Majora's Mask to Breath of the Wild's Ocarina of Time. Wait, does that make any sense? Open world, flying through the skies, dummy thick Zelda. It will literally win Game of the Year.
いろいろ考えてきたんですけど、もうダメだ。忘れた。
But it won't be as good as Breath of the Wild. Starfield. And now we go from a masterpiece to what will inevitably be a pile of shit upon release. There will be massive ad campaigns, stories from critics who were breathless as they navigated the massive galaxy, and sales records will be smashed on day one. But then, surprise, the game will be full of glitches and shipped in an awful state. After years of doing nothing, modders will transform it into a fine game. Just par for the course for Bethesda.
All of this just works.
Final Fantasy XV. With Tetsuya Nomura finally taken off of these games, we will have the first Final Fantasy game in over a decade that isn't a cringy pile of horribly written crap.
Glad that's over!
The story will be more grounded, and it will be lauded as a return to form. Now that Tetsuya Nomura is no longer part of Final Fantasy, things will finally be great. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Did I say things will be great? I meant horrible! Just when you thought his horrible writing couldn't ruin anything else, Tetsuya Nomura is coming straight for your childhood. Now that Tetsuya Nomura is turning one of the most beloved games ever into a Kingdom Hearts story with time travel and alternate universes, players are bound to love it. I mean, whoever played a JRPG for the story? It will look good, but when they don't have Aeris get killed because of time travel or some shit, people are going to be pissed. Oh, wait a minute, that's a spoiler for this game. If you never played the game, turn off the video now, because it's just gonna...
Spouting that cryptic stuff, which could all be bullshit.
Okay, let's see how many games we have left. Oh, Jesus, there's so many more. Okay, we have to do this a little faster. Quick, tell me what you think all of these games have in common. Assassin's Creed Mirage, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Armored Core 6, Fire of Rubicon, Hades 2, and Silksong. Do you give up? Most of those games will be delayed until 2024. Armored Core 6 was just revealed last winter, and they say it's going to come out this summer? What, do they think we're idiots? There are only 3 games this year that fall under the ruined by monetization / gambling addiction simulators category. Of course, the prime game is Diablo 4, but that category is also going to see the likes of Suicide Squad and Skull and Bones. You know, Skull and Bones, that game from Ubisoft that has so much great press. Last but not least, we have the Vanilla Ice Cream category. This is full of games that are gonna be, alright, I guess. We have Dead Island 2, aka Dying Light without parkour. Redfall, which is basically Left 4 Dead, but just not as fun. Then there's Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6. You have Company of Heroes 3, which will be Grandpa's favorite game of the year. And last but not least, Pragmata, the most Hideo Kojima, non-Hideo Kojima game of the year. Well, there we go. That's all the big games we have to look forward to this year, and my predictions that are going to be 100% accurate. With so many games to look forward to, I can't even think of what I'm most excited to play. But it's obviously Zelda.